Interstellar. We all saw the spectacle. The black hole, the wormholes, and the stunning visuals that redefined cinema. But what if I told you that the real secret of Christopher Nolan's masterpiece is not in the science, but in something far more ancient, something we use every day yet fail to understand its true power? What if the most important character in this film wasn't Cooper, Brand, or even Murph, but time itself? Join us for the next minutes as we dig deep into the shocking truth we all missed. The only force powerful enough to save humanity was the one we never believed in. Let's start the clock. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about one of the most important creations in cinematic history by Christopher Nolan. That is Interstellar. This film transcends the boundaries of science fiction, showing us the true connection that exists between time, space, and human emotions. The story begins in a future where Earth has become uninhabitable due to crop failure and relentless dust storms. The main character, Cooper, a former NASA pilot, is forced to work as a farmer. He lives with his daughter Murph and son Tom. One day, Murph interprets an unusual pattern in her room as the work of a ghost. But Cooper understands that the pattern is caused by a gravitational anomaly. These signals lead them to a secret NASA facility. There, Professor Brand explains that Earth is dying and humanity has only one chance to be saved. That is to travel through a wormhole that appeared near Saturn and find a habitable planet in another galaxy. Cooper is entrusted with the grave responsibility of finding the 3 members of the earlier Lazarus expedition and choosing a new home for mankind. He takes on this mission against his daughter's strong objections. Cooper, Brand, and Romilly, among others, travel into space aboard the Endurance spacecraft. The scene where they pass through the wormhole is a visual masterpiece in film history. Their first destination is Miller's planet. Since it is very close to the Gargantua black hole, the phenomenon called time dilation is severely at play here. Scientifically, this is fascinating, but it seriously affects the story. Every hour spent on this planet is equal to 7 years on Earth. They only spend a few hours on Miller's planet. But when they return to the Endurance, 23 years have passed for Romilly, who remained on board. The moment Cooper watches the video messages sent by the now older Murph is an unbearable pain for any human. This is the heart of this movie. Here, Nolan shows us the terrifying price of losing time, alongside the wonder of space travel. Incorporating these scientific facts further enhances the film's credibility. Further along the journey, the crew has to go to Mann's planet. Dr. Mann is a hero of the original Lazarus team. However, they discover that the planet is not habitable. Mann's betrayal creates the most important psychological conflict in the story. For his own survival, he attempts to destroy the hopes of mankind. Cooper's courage and Tars's help in that moment are brilliant. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Murph has grown up. She is now a scientist at NASA. She initially believes her father broke his promise to return. Yet, she strives to solve the gravity equation. The parallel narrative between Murph's life and Cooper's journey in space is constantly shown. Even though she does not receive her father's messages, she never gives up her work, driven by her unwavering faith in her father. After the incident with Mann, the Endurance spacecraft is left with minimal fuel. Their last hope is to use gravitational assistance from the Gargantua black hole to reach Edmund S. planet. Here, Cooper decides to enter the black hole himself to help the robot Tars gather the necessary data. The moment Cooper falls into the black hole is the climax of the film. Instead of dying, he enters the 5th dimension called the Tesseract. This is a cube that exists outside space-time. Here, he realizes that the ghost in Murph's room when she was a child was himself from the future. He gains the ability to send messages to Murph. He encodes Tars's data into the pattern of the second hand of the wristwatch he left her. This is how she finally solves the gravity equation. Ultimately, Cooper realizes that the wormhole was created by future humanity and that everything was planned based on love to save mankind. Finally, Cooper awakens in a perfect space colony called Cooper Station. He goes to see Murph, who is now an elderly woman. Their brief reunion painfully reminds us of the time they lost over the years. Interstellar is not just a science fiction movie. It is a work of art that combines massive scale, visual brilliance, and a deep emotional message. Hans Zimmer's music is indispensable to the film's success. Interstellar is Christopher Nolan's grand hope, showing a balance between logic and faith, science and love. If you haven't watched this film yet, it is a must-see. If you have, tell us in the comments section what your most memorable moment in the movie was. Don't forget to subscribe to us. See you soon with another review.